Hi guys, my name is Zenobia. I'm an artist manager and I'm working at Let's Twist. That's my business, and you are watching Gold. I grew up in a very average home. I'm one of 4 children, second born, always known as the rebellious one. I was the rebellious one. And I was also very unhappy with my circumstances. You know what, as a child, you're not always happy with the circumstances if your parents tell you, no, you can't do that, there's no money, no, you can't do this, you can't live your dream. And I just decided that is nonsense. I'm going to live my dream and I'm going to make it work. You mustn't tell me there's no money, because money is just something, an obstacle to overcome certain problems in life. And I really lived up to a certain way of doing what I wanted to do. Sometimes my parents wasn't always very happy with what I selected and what I did, because I was a working scholar. Every Saturday, every weekend, I was working. I was in a retail store packing boxes, and I wasn't even supposed to work at that time. But I think the lady favored me because she saw that I want to be somewhere in my life. My mother sent me and my sister to a modeling school because she really thought I was this tomboy and I'm never going to grow up. I was climbing trees, do things with the boys and not with the girls. And so she sent me to this modeling school. And I did a short course, and that was where the fashion and the modeling and the lipstick and everything was actually, people was taking notice of me. And that took part, that happened just there, where I wanted to be something. And I thought, well, this is a good way of making money because I'm taller than my age group, and I'm going to go into the modeling and things like that. So that's where I started off. So I was the only child in my school that really that went or was successful in the ice state fits and drama and things. But I grew up in an environment where, the older people thought that TV, because when I was born, there was no TVs. TV came out in the 70s, and then I was already on my way to high school. So the family thought that was evil. TV and drama and acting was evil. So they'd never let me actually allow me to go into television work and drama and stuff like that. So I studied teaching. Halfway through teaching, something bad with a very sad scenario in my life, a boyfriend that was very jealous of what was happening, changed my life completely. I then studied social work, got back into modeling, and one of the assignments, we were about 40 ladies on a trip to the Wild Coast to promote the launch of the new Mazda bakkie then. We spent a lot of time in the bus with these young ladies, and I was the whole time trying to find out, what are you doing here? I'm here for the money because I want to make money. I want to further my life. I want to be a businesswoman. I want to do something with my life. What are you doing here? And I found that so many ladies was there not because they are beautiful, but because they wanted to be seen. And to find out their life story, so many of them was raped. So many of them came out broken houses. And they seek the limelight to become somebody. And that is when I decided, just here and then, I'm going to go into the modeling industry. I want to work with people that are not aware that they are going to be a statistic one day. I want to capture them before they become abused, before they become somebody that's hurt in life. So give them inspiration. And it was such a journey. I enjoyed every moment. I enjoyed working with the young people where you inspire and you look at the soul of the person, and you can change a person's life. I'm very proud of what I'm doing at the moment for the simple reason that God uses people, not doctors, not lawyers, not titles. He uses people. Sometimes I always go up to the people, the ladies in the shopping mall that are cleaning the toilets. And I go up to them and I tell them, and sometimes if they allow me, I can even give them a hug. I read the body language first and tell them that the precious work that they are doing, the work that they are doing of cleaning a toilet, cleaning a floor is the work that God inspires you as a person to do. And those things are more important than being just a lawyer or being just a doctor or just the businesswoman of the year type of thing. It's who you are in life that are important and what changes you make. So yeah, everybody can be used. So I'm proud of what I'm doing. Yes, I'm reaching out to a lot of people. And with the art that I'm in, I can help people to live their dreams. I can bring them through the water. I cannot cause that they are going to be successful, but at least they experience the fact that they can audition, that they can make a difference. And then, yeah, behind the scenes, we train a little bit and we see what we can do to inspire them and to go better. My parents are very proud of me. My dad acknowledged that one day when I had this huge beauty pageant and there were so many successful people, and he took the microphone, and he was not a public speaker at all. At that function, he took the microphone and said, "I just want to say this rebellious daughter of mine, she surprised me and I'm very proud of her." And that's important. Must say my mother was my inspiration in life as well. My mother taught me a lot of things. She's the first woman that taught me about the Bible. She's the first woman that taught me about wrong and right. She's the first woman that told me that you don't look at color, you look at the color of the blood and the soul. You don't look at color at all. And that is important to me, and I still live up to that. I've been in this industry, it feels to me as if it's lifelong, because I was still at school when I started this, in the training field. But I became an agent, registered company in 1993. But I was working before that already as an agent, but I registered a company. The challenges that I've got is to work with faithful people. You don't get faithful people. Loyal people. I gave a few people what I say, we give them wings. So I gave them wings. What I mean by that, I gave them the opportunity. You sit sometimes with people that you inspire. You talk. There's a lady from Nigeria as well that came to South Africa, and she's a well-known, in her own country, she's a well-known rewarded actress and dancer, but nobody wanted to touch her in South Africa. And I decided I'm going to make it happen. We went through the whole thing, writing letters to get a tax number and all that. So we give the people wings by starting off their career, starting with the normal things like TV commercials. That's a very easy way to make money because it pays well. It takes sometimes long to pay, but it pays well. And then got her into the acting thing. So yes, with her and a few other people, you start off their careers. But to work with people, you know, a lot of these artists become gold diggers. They run, today they're with this agent, tomorrow they're with that agent, or you don't know, the next moment somebody's phoning you and say, "Hi, I received this photo, you presented this artist, but he's also with somebody else." And you, how's that possible? How can it be? So you sit with people with multiple art agents. That is a challenge. Because you struggle to build a person's career. Even though you are the loyal one boosting this person all the time, you struggle because that person is not that loyal to you. He wants to grab on everything that's happening, coming his way. But on the long run, sometimes they work themselves out because nobody wants to touch people like that. A few life-changing matters was, first of all, when I got married, got kids. In this industry, you need to be there. You need to be there all the time, especially when you've got talent performing, singers, dancers. That happens 99% of the time after hours. So you need to be there. But as a mother and being married to a man that worked a lot of time away from home, you either had a good support system at home or you need to stay home. All right, so both my parents were not there. My mother-in-law passed away. My own mother passed away. So you don't have that support. So I had to make a few life-changing changes by then. So I stopped being the trainer, because training is also 99% happening after hours to accommodate the people working. And I was a mother for a few years, and then I went fully on to being just an agent, working completely on television, focusing on TV work, focusing on being an artist, manager, performing artists, actors, and the diversity around that. Nobody will dish out money in this industry. It's a very stingy industry. They will rather try to keep it for themselves and see if they can pocket a lot. So no, there was no such thing. I think what inspired me most is the dream that you see in other people's eyes. You can see when there's a person, like the people that will phone you and say, I just want to be on a billboard. If only he can see me on a billboard, he will know what he must say. You then know that one is not an artist. She wants to be in the limelight for the wrong reasons. But you see these people devoting, they are grabbing every text that they can, and they learn the text and they will record it and send it to you. They are dreaming of being an actor. They want to tell a story, and it's a story that makes all the people in the public listen and read and see, because there's a lot of stories to be told. There's a lot of lessons in life in all these dramas and short stories. That is an inspiration. If you know that this artist living a dream, that is, I always tell people, are you sure God was not unfair? He didn't only give you one talent, He gave you more, you know. You must just discover them. Then they will say, I know I'm an actor. I am an actor. And that is an inspiration, because you want to make it, you want to help these people to make it true. You know, sometimes you don't always know, and I want to forget about things that I do for people. I'm not one of those people that would love to remember all my good deeds, because that is not me as a Christian. I sometimes do something. I will give a poor man food. I had a tramp that was coming to my office in Arcadia, Pretoria, that was sitting on my stoop sometimes very exhausted, and order a meal and let somebody deliver that meal to that person. That makes a person give value to a person. So it's the small things in life, except for artists. I think you must rather ask artists if there is something that I did for them, because they will know, they will tell the story better. I'm just living, I'm just doing. And what I'm doing is not what I think, oh, I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to do my golden deed for somebody. If you live up to what God wants you to be as a person, you are not going to look back and say, sorry, I can't do this. It doesn't matter if it's a compliment you're giving to a child or a woman that you give a hug to, that you feel that she needs it. Old people that you talk to, because nobody talks to old people. Those are the things. That's nothing to do with a career only, but as a human that you give to another person. That is important. You need to live up to what God wants you to be. What is my life inspiration is a person's life. A person that today should speak like this, tomorrow she lives that. And a typical example of that is Oprah. I think Oprah inspires so many people because she talks the talk, but she walks the walk. And it doesn't help if you talk, but you don't do. So you need to do whatever you say. So put your money where your mouth is. And you know what? That is something that you will find a blessing for as well. If you're just going to count your money, what's the newest, latest thing is you count your money all the time, you're not going to be blessed. But if you see how many hearts you can touch, how many souls you can touch, how many people you can help to get rich, to get money in the bank, that is something that inspires me, and that is what I'm doing. So no, I don't keep stock on what I've did, because of us. You know what I did for you? It's now time to return your favor. I don't live like that. It's not the way, I think it's not the way God wants you to live. He says in the Bible, you mustn't know, the one hand mustn't know what the other hand is doing. Isn't it? So yes, exactly. You get days when you wake up and you think, what is this worth? Especially if you need to fight for your money, you need to fight for the artist's money, you need to struggle at home with naughty teenagers that are so not thankful. And there's so many other problems and obstacles in life as well. And then you need to decide, what are you going to do? Are you going to give up? What are you going to do when you give up? You know what? If you walked this path and you decided to walk this path, there's a few things that will happen in your life that you cannot predict. It's just happening. You cannot predict that you will have a naughty child. You cannot predict that your child will have love affair problems, because if anything that happens to a child hurts a mother more than what the child is hurt, you need to stand up and you need to get grace and God's wisdom to make a difference. Together with that, you know, Murphy, is a nasty old man. Everything will happen at once. It's not only your child, it's not only your business, but everything at the one time will feel as if your world is falling apart. It's time then to take stock of your life. You need to look back and see how graceful God brought you to the point where you are now. And you need to make decisions. And if you're going to make a wrong decision on betraying on other people, betraying on your business partner, betraying on your people because they are your business partner, you're going to fall apart and you will not get anywhere. But you need to stand up and do the right thing at all times. You need to stand up and do the right thing with God's grace. That's all you can do. Never, but never give up. I started my business with zero money. When I started the business, first of all, the rental was extremely high. And I decided I'm going to make it because you need to have a premises to train people from. You can't accommodate everybody at your home. So I went and I started negotiating with people, and they laughed in my face and they said, "Where do you want to be? I can give you a place in Soshanguve, that's where you can afford this place." And I thought, I don't want only to be in Soshanguve. I want to be in Soshanguve too, you know, but I don't only want to be there. Eventually, I think it was after a month, the owner of the company was Sasol. The pension fund had a premises to rent as well, and it was empty for a while. And they said to me, "All right, we're going to help you. We will reduce the price and give it a go. But in return, you need to market the whole shopping center." And I said, "Yes, I'm going to do that." And I did. In the same time, I went and I made connection with a well-known established brand. Now, in South Africa, chips was called Zimba. And we had different brands, Willard's, Lay's chips, a few others. And I went and I made a deal with these people. And I said to them, it's important that we establish the name Willard's and not Zimba. And they said, "All right, propose." And I made a huge proposal and I went and see them. And we had the Kiddie Model of the Year competition with all these lovely artists from the rural areas. And I went to Mamelodi and I went to Soshanguve and we went to Garankuwa. And every time we took a lot of Willard's chips with, and say, "Now, from now on, you don't call it Simba, you call it Willard's." So you need to know the difference between this. So in a professional manner, that was one of the things that we tried to achieve, is the name branding, and also to get the kids out of the area. You know, because we were so in apartheid. The black kids were there, the white kids were there, and the colors were in between. They didn't know where to fit in. And I can remember they eventually brought me kids, that we had taxis bringing kids for training. And the one little girl said to me, "You know what, they can't really understand what you're saying, but they asked me to ask you, how do you look inside?" I said, "How do you mean, how do I look inside?" They said, "Your mouth inside, how do you look? And can they touch you?" And I said, "Of course, they can climb over me." And I sat in the middle of the floor. And these kids came, and I had to open my mouth. And they looked at my teeth, and they all were pointing. The one's finger was in my mouth. The other was in my head, to pull my head to see if it's real. That was, to me, magic. Magic. And up till today, I'm still friends with a lot of those kids that are now mothers themselves. But I think we overstepped that thing. Well, yes, I was naughty. I was always, in the apartheid years, also being the one that was getting out where I wasn't supposed to be as a whitey. But yes, I did. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Because God doesn't see your color. If we bleed, we all bleed the same. Hopefully red, but we bleed the same. And that was one of the biggest goals that I've achieved, bringing those kids in and training them. And some of my models achieved. They were front cover pages, they reached the billboards, and yeah, it was nice. I am now already for the past 2-3 years looking at a lady that I've pinpointed that I want to bring into my business. For when I retire, the business can still carry on. And it's a stunning lady. She's my makeup artist, Susan Nicoletti, and a few others obviously as well, because if she wants to take just a branch to establish people in a certain branch, then it's fine. But there is people that I've pinpointed that I want to bring into the business that can take the business further. Because as I think that if they are with the same heart growing and feel the people like I feel the people, which I know Susan does because she's a very caring person, she's definitely going to take the business further. And I think in South Africa, being more black than white, bring in black partners, not as a BEE, because that's not the way, the reason why I'm doing this. I'm fully ready to give over to these people that can build a business for themselves, where they can make money, help other people, and grow. The lonely times in life where you try to find out who you are and what you're going through, are you the only one? Because you sometimes feel that you are the only one. You're never the only one. What you need to do is take time off, because in the rush and with all the people and with all the noises and people telling you what to do, because everybody has got wisdom that they want to share with you. Doesn't matter what wisdom they're giving you. It's not them that are going through it, it's you. You need to take time off. If it's professional help, because sometimes you go, as a woman, you go through depression, you go to your medical doctor at first, you listen to what she's saying, you take advice, and then you find out who you really want to be in your quiet time. Together with all these voices that you get from the humans that cares for you, it's you that are in this situation. What I normally do is I just take time out, sit in nature, talk to the Lord, and listen. You know, the magic thing is that the Lord does talk back to you. He does, in strange ways. Sometimes, I can remember the one day I received a call from one of my artists. She has been through a difficult time, and she also told me, put me on hold, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going through a very difficult time. And from nowhere, a year later, she phoned me. She said, I've got a message from you from the Lord. And he said that you never need to give up. Do not allow people to walk over you. And it's not your fault. You must never think it's your fault. Stand up. Take your life back. I did. Positive people. Positive people inspires me all the time. I hate negativity. I hate it when people nag. I've got one saying in life, and my kids know that as well. If they start, but I can't do this, stop giving good excuses, but start showing good results. That's important. Because a good excuse is just a good excuse for not achieving anything. It's the result. It's to make, because every negative and a negative, even in science, negative and a negative is a positive, becomes a positive. Make it a positive. Reach out, make it a positive, because you can. The only favorite quote is what I got from my mother. There's two things that she told me. She said, you cannot think that you are going to be cradled or rocked into heaven one day, because nobody is going to rock you into heaven. You need to work for it. The other thing is, stop giving that good excuses, but start showing the good results. Because if you keep on saying that you're a failure, you're going to be a failure. But if you say that you're an achiever, you will be an achiever. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be the president of the country one day, but you might be the vice president of the country one day. You never know. But you need to make something out of nothing, because it's not going to fall in your lap. You need to work for it. You need to wake up in the morning and say, oh, what am I going to do today to make a difference in other people's life? Sometimes you don't even have to ask it. It's just happening. Just happening. As you go through your day, it will happen. At the same time, worrying me is a huge racial issue. Doesn't matter what you do and how you live, there's always this racial issue somewhere. And I always tell people that if you take the racial away, what is race? Is race just black and white? Then they're going to start with culture. Because then they're going to look at the different cultures and they will find a problem with that. There's so much negativity. But I prefer to work and to stick to the people that do not see that. And there is a lot of those people. There's people that want to make a difference in life. And that is inspiring me, because I'm seeking the positiveness in people's doing, in people that stand together. And that is important. There was a time that everybody was just you and me and separate, and we're not together, but the unitedness of these people that can stand together. And that's an inspiration, because together we can grow, together they can grow, together they can make a difference. Yeah, the sadness is these people that are breaking down with all this abuse, women abuse, men, people that think that if they ruin other people's property, if they break down other people's stuff, that's heart sore. That is taking away more than just the material things, because it sometimes takes dignity. And those people that are encouraging and that are supportive, that's the inspiration. And the people that stood out, that came from nowhere, that grows, and yeah, that makes the world a better place. And the innocence of a child, that innocence of a laugh, the hug of a child, that is important. And that's the inspiration. Ongoing thing in the world that makes me happy that I look at is the farmers and the people that are looking at the environment and the changes in the environment. Worldwide, farmers are standing up and they are taking hands and they are making things happening in a positive way, because without a farmer in the world, there is not going to be a future for any human being in South Africa, in America, in French, wherever. And these people are holding hands. They are devoting their time and their skills to make things happen in a different way. Abuse against children and women, and especially abuse against children. There's too many men and women that sexually abuses kids, that mentally abuses kids and women. And sometimes not only women and children, but people. It all depends on who's the dominant person. But I wish that can stop. Stop abusing other people. Treat other people like you want to be treated in life. That is important. I wish that Gold will be very successful, being broadcast, and so many listeners must look and learn and see that you've got a dream to live and you can reach your dream. Never stop dreaming and go for gold. There's a lot of people that are calling on me. A lot of kids that just got this fear of rejection, think they're never going to succeed. People that their parents are still domestic workers and they think they will never be able to achieve their dreams. To me, I want to tell you that I started off with nothing. Nothing. If I can do it, you can do it. Go out there and reach for a dream. You can. With God's grace, you can. It will take longer, but at least you will know that what you achieved in life, you did it. Go out there and do it. Go for gold. For you to be able to achieve your dream, you need to first find out what you really want out of life. Then you focus on that. You stay focused. You pray and ask if that is also what God wants you to do in your life. Because your way and His way, it's not always the same thing. So make sure that it's not a selfish dream that you've got. Live up to what you want. Go for it. Live your life. Read about that. And try not to be a romantic fool about what you want to do in life, because sometimes you will be romanticize something in life and think that is a dream and that is why you want it. Focus on the real thing. Make sure what you find out what's the negative and the positive about your career. And also if you want to make money, make sure what you can earn and make sure how you will get to your dream. Don't just think it's going to fall in your lap. Find out what you can do. Take a lot of courses. Follow those and just go for it. My name is Zenobia. I'm an artist manager. Go for gold.